Hey Misplayers, Keith here at Slight Misplay. Today I'm going to review the latest gaming accessory I am particularly psyched out of my mind about. So this is the RPGTreasure Kickstarter by Campaign Coins. Let's take a look. So the RPGTreasure project by Campaign Coins was a Kickstarter that was released back in February, I think. I think they're finally finishing up delivery, and now all of their items are on their online store now. A little bit more pricey than it was during the Kickstarter, but we'll get to that in a second. Basically, this is 4 different sets of coins. Each set consists of about 50 coins each, as well as some Kickstarter add-on special items that are different than the core of the sets. I know they had some other Kickstarters a while back, I think, and there's a lot of other sets that are on their online store. I never got anything previously from them. I think some of the coins from these sets may be reissues of previously done items as well. I backed their Kickstarter for RPGTreasure at the market level, I believe it was, the merchant level, I think. Merchant level, which got me 4 sets. I could choose which ones I wanted. I chose to diversify and get one of each. This set me back about $150 US. They're an Australia-based company, so it's approximate there. Now all of these sets are on their sites for $45 each without any of the stretch goal special treasures, and $49 with the special treasures. So it's about $200 right now if you wanted to get exactly what I got. So the sets. First we have the Tavern Change, which is all lower denomination. 1s and 5s of coppers and silvers. I believe I have that right. I think they added on some 5s and 1s for coppers and silvers on that. So this is basically the kind of thing you would use for if you're looking at the 5e Player's Handbook, page 158. This looks perfect for meals, ale, some cheap wine, adventurer class lodging, adventure class accommodations. Also, I think they unlocked some 2s and 10s denominations for copper and silver. That's handy if you want to make change or to avoid having to give somebody a couple of coins that they're just going to give right back to you to give up one night's room and board. So it's a nice little set. The backings on these look like they have a bit of an elvish bent to them, or some of them might have like a human kingdom. They're kind of nondescript. Got some horses and some trees for these, and some moons and some other, I think it's a cornucopia or something like that. That means horn of plenty, by the way. So it's a nice little set. It's very utilitarian for just day-to-day use if that's something you're going to be using to track in your games. Next up is the market set. This is a bit of a step up here. Market Gold set is what this is called. Looking at these here, these are all gold. They're different denominations from 1 to 20, and they had some add-on coins for that for 100 gold piece and 500 gold piece denominations as well. This set is very aptly named. This is pretty much what you're going to be using as adventurers in a standard D&D economy to buy most of your adventuring gear. If you're playing a really bougie character, maybe, then they might be using these for a fine decanter of wine, or the really nice accommodations, fancy clothes, that kind of thing. The art on these is really nice. We've got some mountains. Looks like a winged hammer. Don't quite understand that one, but it looks cool. I think there's some 2s in here that are an odd shape. Looks like a crest or coat of arms. And there's one that has a nice little anvil on there. So all of the backings on these all have what I would consider to be kind of a dwarvish bent to them. Here's the 20 gold piece one as well, if you can see that. That one's a little bit different, has a little bit of a some dwarven rune script on it, and that coin has a hole in the middle. Like I think it was Chinese coins had holes in the middle. I'm not very good at historical or modern coinage, as you can tell. But those are what you can tell from these in particular is that the different coins are distinguished not just by the art, which is all 3D. It's a varying detail, very very nice, different heads and tail sides, as you can see, but also in size, shape, and edge milling. Now we're going to go on to the next set, which is the Dungeon Gold. And these are also all gold. Their denominations are larger per coin than the previous set. They start at 50 gold piece denomination and go up to 5,000 gold piece denomination. Now, a 5,000 gold piece coin, actually I think the 5,000 was a stretch goal, so I think the largest commonly made one in here, the largest one that's mass produced in here, is a 1,000 piece gold. Now, these aren't going to have the same kind of table appeal as having 5,000 individual glittering gold coins. But it's going to be way less of a pain to deliver and distribute that gold to your players when they've just defeated a dragon or broken into a vault of some sort. If you're using coins to actively keep track of character treasure and wealth, this is going to be super handy. Also, the stretch goals added were a 500 gold piece knight to this set, and an extremely, I thought this was pretty hilarious, extremely phallic shaped 1,000 gold piece coin there that's supposed to be sword and roses, but I know that this is going to be, when I give this out to a player at the table, there's going to be some moments of absolute hilarity with that. They also made, I think it was this set, it may have been one of the others, I apologize, I mixed them all together in my head as well as on my table, is the Dungeon Bastard. I'm glad to see that he's still around. I thought he'd kind of faded into the background of gamer knowledge, but I'm glad that he's still relevant, as I really liked his stuff. It's a kind of a nice inside joke for anybody who knows who he is. This is going to be a nice set overall of just keeping track of party wealth. Long term, I don't see these being used to make actual purchases unless you're in the market for a galley or are building a castle or a keep, or maybe hiring a high level spellcaster to raise your friend from the dead. But that comes out of his share, right? Because you're not paying for it. Maybe his family. I don't know. Anyways, finally we have the rare treasure. This is the funky stuff. This is the Electrum and the Platinum is what they call it. And you get these in 1s and 5s and 10s. Now, I was pretty excited about this set. This was the one I was most excited for overall. It seems to scream special treasure. I could see just throwing one of these coins into a pile of treasure that you distribute, and then having the players wonder, like, why is this one different when they're divvying up? Who's going to get this one? Is it magical? Is it cursed? Especially the Electrum, which they decided, Campaign Coins decided that was going to be black. I'm not sure that Electrum is actually black. I think from Wikipedia I saw that it was a natural alloy of gold and silver. Didn't look black to me on Wikipedia, but what do I know? I'm not a metallurgist, guy who knows about metal. What I will say about these, they look cool. They look different because they're black. The platinum ones look nice, but they also look a little. The black looks a little, to me, the black looks a little too black. I guess if you're looking for cursed or evil mint. Sounds like some kind of wintergreen or something that you find in gum. But evil minted coinage. The Electrum has a very different and darker art than all of the other sets. The art on these has, they're oddly shaped for one. They've got little spiky bits coming out, almost like a flame. Little spiky bits on these. The art is all skulls and spiders and what's the other one here? Dragon wings, bat wings, whatever you want it to be. It's your game. And that might also help you depict that something is cursed or something is from a dark kingdom or something. Also, the backs on those, on all the Electrums, are all the same. And they all have this little kind of sinister triangle. I mean, it's sinister, I guess, because it's, done in dark metal. Dark metal. But since those are all the same, it does evoke that kind of sense of they're coming from maybe an ancient evil lost kingdom, or maybe Menzoberranzan or another drow society or something like that. So that's kind of cool. The platinums have different backings. Again, I think they were a little too shiny. And the thing about the platinums and the Electrums is that because of the color of their metal, to me, I'm not sure if this picks up on camera, but the camera might actually give it more detail than my eye can detect when I'm looking at it on the table. So that's one of the reasons that these kind of seemed a little lackluster, to pardon the pun. They felt and looked a little bit plastic to me. And this was just at first, my first reveal when I put these on the table. Now, again, this was, I first got them. I was excited to get them. I put them out on my kitchen island. It's just a granite tabletop. And basically I was keeping all the sets separate. Gotta keep them separated. Yeah? Anyone? No? Anyways, it's hard to do this without a live studio audience, but that might be better for my ego. I kept them all separate. I looked at them all individually. Okay, they're cool. And then I put them all back in their own pouches. And come on, it was a Kickstarter, so I probably built things up in my head for this. It's been a rough year. I was really looking forward to these to come out. Any little bit of joy I can get from a Kickstarter delivery is a tiny little oasis from the chaotic wastelands that are out there. These coins are no different at all from how they were shown on the website and on the Kickstarter page. The description was spot on. So this was all just my impression, and that's the downside of Kickstarters, right? Is that you get, on the one hand, you get this year-long tantric sex tease of updates and progress and how awesome everything's going to be once you can finally get it. On the other hand, you get all that time to build things up in your head to a level that is impossible to match. Everything will be fine once we get to Tiras Lean. Right. So I was excited when I got these. I was happy with what I got, but I wasn't doing backflips. And again, that's on me. And I also didn't read carefully enough that what the size of the coins are going to be. I had previously gotten some of Game Tea's coins for free with other purchases, which was the coin of fate and the coin of life and the coin of life and death. The two of those, and they're really nice. They're, I think, British pound size. Do they still have those English pounds? I love English pounds. Do they still exist? Do they still have those since the Euro and Brexit? Is England still a thing? Is Europe still a thing? Is anything outside of my little lockdown castle and the chaotic hellfire outside? Is anything beyond that? I don't know. I guess Australia still exists because they sent me these coins. So there we go. Anyways, I inflated some things in my head. I unboxed everything. I admired the sets and the different coins, and it was suggested to me. My lady said, "Hey, why don't you get another little adjustable plastic storage box? You can sort these out and keep them separate." And I thought about that, but I'm not going to. And here's why. So the next day, my son wanted to run some D&D for us, and he is not stingy with the treasure in his games at all because he's 7 and he's a good DM, and he knows that players like treasure because he likes treasure. So I had my bags of coins handy for him to use. I was a bad player this session. I was a little bit distracted. I was exhausted. I was probably a bad dad just by not paying attention to every word that he said at that point. I needed something pretty to occupy my hands and my eyes and my brain in between encounters. So I spilled all 4 bags of coins out on the table in front of me, and gosh, and yeah, that happened. This was new. The contrasting sizes and shapes and the different metals, the different colors, all into one little mini hoard. It looked glorious. I picked up a handful and I streamed them down to the rest of the pile, and it just sounded right. And I ran my fingers through it and dove them into it like 10 little Scrooge McDucks, and I definitely sang the DuckTales theme song when I did that, and it just felt right. And I was Prince John from Disney's Robin Hood. I remembered something from, I think, G.I. Joe back in the day, where it was like, oh, gold, lovely, something Zartan or Buzzer. I'm a nerd. Anyways, but I was just picking the handfuls of these up and stuffing them all into one single pouch and feeling that the heft of it, the weight, and hearing the sound of it, that jingle jangle. I've got coins that jingle jangle jingle. Yeah, it's been in my head for about a month, so now it's going to be in your head. So you feel that weight, and I was just sold on this, and I remembered why I backed it in the first place and why I got the 4 different sets, because I wanted that feel of a diverse, heterogeneous mini hoard of treasure that I could distribute or put out on the table for players and have them pour through it, and just pour it out and stuff it back into a sack. And that feeling that I had, that I really wanted, I'm dropping these all over the floor now, that feeling I had and that I wanted to have when I first read House of Straw, the reissue of Castle Ravenloft, probably 15 years ago, that feeling when the Vistani walks in and says, "Fill their glasses, one and all," and that sound right there, that who doesn't want that feel of a pouch full of coin in their hand when they're playing D&D, and that sound, or just wants to be able to toss it across the table. I can't stop doing that. That's D&D. I mean, that feeling right there is that feeling it gets in your mind, that gets you into character. Oh God, so good. So it's the volume, the mass, the heft, the sound of a big bunch of coins. So I can't wait to use these in D&D and in other games now. I'm not going to sort them out between sessions because it's freaking fun to have a huge sack of clinking coins and sort through a hand of coins taken from a pouch. It's engaging, it's tactile, and it's awesome. So here's where having the coins different sizes and shapes comes in handy, because wasn't really thinking about this at first, but if you want a good role-playing experience, it's nice to be able to reach into a person, know from the feel of it. Now, granted, we're not familiar with these, so we're not going to be as able to do this as somebody living in this world could, but it gives you that feeling that you could reach in and grab just that 2 copper that you wanted. So if you're in a crowded marketplace or in a seedy bar, you're not doing that thing where you're at a ball game and you're taking out your whole wallet so somebody else can bump into you and steal it all because they see that you've got more cash than you're letting on. That's a really cool little moment there. Of course, we're substituting a bumper with a pickpocket, thief, road, cut purse, literally. But that was really cool to me. And so, yeah, there's a lot of diversity here. And the thing about that is, though, if you want to get that feeling of just one empirical culture that all has the same coinage, you can do that if you just use the market and the dungeon gold, because the tail sides on those are mostly, if not all, I think they're all the same style. They all seem like a dwarvish bent to it. And so if you want that idea that everything comes from the same economy, all the money comes from the same source, you can do that with just the market gold and the dungeon gold sets. And you have plenty to play with there. If you want the feel of a more diverse culture and economy, dwarves, humans, elves, smurfs. Did smurfs use currency within a barter system? Anyway, if you want the feel of a cosmopolitan society, a metropolis, or a trade center, adding in the Tavern Change and or the Rare Treasure will definitely help you with that. If you want to do that thing where a smith or a merchant only accepts dwarven or human or elf coin, or only accepts certain metals as payment, Tavern Change and Rare Treasure is something that you would consider as well. Also, if you want to do that thing like in that G.I. Joe episode where they give the guy U.S. currency, but he only accepts Cobra dollars or something like Goofy money or Itchy Scratchy money bucks that aren't accepted anywhere in the park, but any of those kind of hooks, having different kinds of treasure, different types of metal, different types of backings can definitely help with that. So I'm really happy with this set now. Oh gosh, they're like getting all four. This is why I'm not going to separate these out, because look at how long it takes me to put these all back in. This isn't even with some of the ones that I've set aside here. Like all the special treasures, and there's so much of it. Like, so yeah, it's heavy. You gotta look at this and listen to this and touch this, and well, you know what I mean. Once I had that little chin-ching moment there, these are fantastic. What am I going to use these for? D&D. I'm really excited looking forward to this once I play with my in-person groups again at some point in the future, hopefully. Right now I'm going to be using them with my kids, my lady, when we're playing D&D. I'll be using the bigger coins as treasure. I'll make change for the PCs as needed for in-town stuff. Am I already thinking of special and cursed treasure hooks already? Yes, absolutely. The artwork on the pattern is really inspiring and evocative. You could easily create a campaign based on just one or more of these coins. Am I thinking of running entire sessions involving games and betting in character with these coins, using them as coins or chips, or chips that represent coins that represent chips? I think that was a Blur song. Yeah, you bet I am. See what I did there? I'm sure the players are going to enjoy driving DMs crazy by stacking these up and splashing them around in their player areas along with their dice stacks. But that's fun. Let them have fun. I'm definitely going to be adding these to board games. Gloomhaven for sure. We toss a coin to your Witcher every time we defeat a monster. We can use these for that. Puerto Rico, when we splink coins for unused rolls at the end of a round. What else? Flying Goblin, Merchants and Marauders. Do these coins look historical or piratey? No. Do I care? Nope. Not at all. They're fun. We're going to find uses for these. Hero Quest, Small World, Talisman. I, in a former life, was an amateur magician. They're really handy. That's why I like the ones that have mills on them, because they're nice for little coin rolls like that. These are going to be extremely awful because I'm out of practice, but little touches like this. You want to do a prestidigitation effect for a mage, whatever we're calling them now, wizards, sorcerers, warlocks, prestidigitation effect for that, or, you want to do like a little sleight of hand thing from a bard and it's gone, great, and then, you bring it back from behind a player's ear, something like that, whatever. Oh God, I've got to do this. Like, this is just so cool, to have a tactile prop like that, and ones that are just well made. So the thing is, you don't even need to have these ideas on how to incorporate these in your games. You don't have to listen to me, because Campaign Coins actually released a PDF on how to do this. How to, how far do you want to go with this immersion? How much is going to enhance your game? How much is going to just detract from it or distract your players or cause problems? They want you to use this. They released a PDF. It was a great thing to do. I use these as, I'll be using these, or I already use something like these as trinkets as little prizes for my kids. If they do something special during the day, if I just want to give them a little pick-me-up, I let them carry around. I've been using some other D&D related items for that. I'll do another review on those. Game Tees badges. But I can certainly use these for them. The kids love them. I'm teaching my son how to do some coin tricks and coin rolls because he broke his fidget spinner, keeps his brain focused, his hands occupied. So we'll do that. Did I put 2 of these coins on my daughter's eyes when she was pretending to be dead during a game that we played last week? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I sang lightning crashes as I did so. That's a thing that happened. Are there things about this I'm not thrilled with? Of course, they're not perfect. They do feel a little light in my hand, like individually, as opposed to, like I said, the Game Tee ones are thicker. But come on, for the price and for how many you get, it's insane to think that they would all be heavy like that. Some of the coins, particularly in the market gold, the coins with the holes in them, and also some of the 100 gold pieces in the dungeon gold, they don't seem to stack quite neatly. And it might have been intentional for the circular ones, because I think circular coins were designed that way so that you would hold them on a string or on a pole or something like that. I know nothing about coins. But it's a little annoying because players are going to want to stack them. They're going to want to do that little Prince John thing where they do the little, stack of coins and, they're going up and down. And that's just going to be a little annoying. It's a minor quibble. Not a huge deal. Other little stupid things. The pouches are great. It would be nice if they didn't have campaign coins stamped on both sides so that I could just use one side blank and kind of have it hold out there and not break immersion. But yeah, it's a little thing. I'm glad they came with pouches. So that's fine. Give them a little advertisement to the people at the table. Like, I'm not going to be telling everybody at the table, guys, you have to get these. They're campaign coins. They're great. I'm way pickier about this stuff than most people. I don't think I've ever had a player say anything detractive or anything about anything that I've ever brought to the table to add to the game. But I get nitpicky. Maybe you are too. There you go. Overall, I ended up being really, really happy with these. Happy enough to do a video on them. Gets me excited to play. Anything that can get me more excited to play D&D and board games than I already am is pretty phenomenal. These make me want to grab some cheap plastic gems from a craft store and make or pillage my copy of Fireball Island, or what else do I have gems in? Fireball Island's got them. Ghost Stories has got them, like white gems, and just throw them all in and have like a huge hoard of treasure. It gets me just so excited for that. Throw in the Coins of Wonder, have some of the treasure be magic. Coins of Wonder from Game Tea, sorry. I'll be reviewing those separately once those arrive. In the meantime, they also have some sets on their site that King's Ransom, I think, fantasy board games set, Innsmouth Gold for Cthulhu fans. So they have other coins as well that you could throw in for different kinds of things. They have, what else did I see on there? Some other RPG coins, some for Shadow of the Demon Lord, Numenera, a million of them that, some games that even I hadn't even heard of before. I've seen some tokens they have, like initiative markers or player markers. Some art pins, some, with great designers like Devin Rue. So overall, really great. I definitely recommend, looking into at least a small pouch of this awesome stuff. It gives you a lot, but yeah, listen to what I said about, to think about what you're looking for to add to your game to see which denominations you might want. If you're not, constantly haggling over the price of a room for the night, you don't just need the Tavern Change set. That might be an add-on. Think about what you usually do, but I was really, and I am really, really happy with the 4 sets that I got, one of each of them, from the new releases from the Kickstarter. So I hope this, gets you as close as I can get you to a virtual feel for these coins. Because again, this is a tactile, like in-person thing. Try to do some of these streaming. I'm going to keep working on that because they're just so cool. But hopefully this is something you'll enjoy as much as I do. Sorry, I'm clinking over myself here. And I think everybody's going to really enjoy these once one day we get back to the table and playing together. So in the meantime, please, like, subscribe, ring the bell, share this, snuff the candle, sign the book, the things that I usually say. I love your comments and questions. So please, if you want me to go over something else, specific, send up some photos or do a mini video on any particular aspect of these to answer a question. You can find me on Twitter as well at Slight Misplay. I have, plenty of gaming coins, but I'm kind of running low on real life coins right now because all that stuff that I paid on for Kickstarter before, that was a different time and things are getting a little tight here. So if you can help me continue bringing you guys content, help me heat my house this winter, help me buy my kids clothes and food, pay my taxes, please consider supporting my Patreon or buy me a coffee. Got it right? No, didn't get it right that time. Anyways, special clink out to my patron, Nicole. And in the meantime, until next time, wear a mask, stay home, wash your hands, and vote. And onward.